Hey guys, today we're going to learn about writing two-step equations. When writing two-step equations, we need to think about a few different things. First question to ask yourself is, what is the total amount? The next question will be, is there a particular number or pattern that's repeating over and over? The third question would be, is there a number that only happens once? For the total amount, it's going to go by itself on one side of the equal sign. So it's going to be alone on one side of the equal sign. The number that has a pattern, that number is going to have a variable with it. A variable is just a letter that represents a number, but in this case we're not going to know what that number is because we're not going to solve our equations yet. And then for the number that only happens once, it's going to be plus or minus some value. We could think of the number that only happens once as maybe the beginning or starting number. Our equations are going to use this format, y equals mx plus b. Y is going to be the total amount. The m is going to be the number that repeats or has some form of pattern. And then the b is going to be the number that only happens once or the beginning number. So let's try the first one out. I always like to use a highlighter to help highlight the important information. 1 year membership to Metro Gym costs $460. So we know for the entire year that membership is $460. There's a fee of $40 when you join. So the day you join, they say, okay, great, thanks for joining. We need your $40 to start with. And then the rest is paid monthly. We don't know how much is paid each month, but we do know they're paying something each month. Write an equation to represent what you will pay monthly for the year-long membership. Write an equation that would help members find out how much they pay per month. So remember, we're going to use the y equals mx plus b. Let's define the total. So the total would be for the whole entire year, which would be $460. The number that repeats over and over would be like their monthly fee. Now we don't know what they're paying monthly, but this word monthly is helping us out, and knowing that this is for 1 year is very helpful. Monthly for a year, we know that there's 12 months in a year, and they're going to pay the same amount for each month. So the number that's repeating here is 12. And then the number that happens once or begins with would be that $40, the $40 fee up front. So we're going to make an equation, y equals mx plus b. Y is the total, $460, equals the number that repeats will be 12. Remember, 12 stands for 12 months in a year. Again, we don't know how much they're paying each month, so I'm going to represent that with the letter P for our variable. So for 12 months, they're paying the same amount of money. And then there's that upfront cost of $40. That happens once. So the 12 payments with the upfront cost of $40 would end up equaling $460 total. Let's try one more. Billy has a gift card with a $150 balance. So his gift card is starting off with $150. he buys several video games that cost $35 each. After the purchases, his gift card balance, so afterwards, his gift card balance is $45, and we're to write an equation to help find out how many video games Billy bought. So again, we need to know the total. We need to know the number that repeats. And then the beginning number or the number that happens once. I'm going to skip the total for a minute and jump to the number that repeats. We know that he bought several video games. We don't know how many video games, but we do know that they cost $35 each. This each is a very good key word to know if a number is repeating or not. For each video game that he bought, it's $35, so that's our repeating number. The beginning number, his gift card started with a $150 balance. When you get a gift card for Christmas or your birthday, that's how much you're beginning with or you're starting with. Now, after he spent his money on video games, his gift card balance ended up with only $45, and that's actually our total here. Now, I will also mention he's spending his money. His gift card balance went down. If you notice, it started with $150 and then we ended up with $45. So the number that's repeating is actually subtracting because he's spending his money. So let's write an equation. Our total would be 45 because that's what he ended up with. M is the number that repeats. So he is spending $35 per video game, and I'm going to use the letter G for game. And then the number that he started with was a $150 balance. Now, this is correct. I'm going to rewrite this equation to make it make more sense with using money on a gift card. So Billy has a gift card with $150, so this is what he started with. Then he started buying several video games, so we're subtracting our money. That cost $35 per game, G for game. And then after he spent his money, he ended up with $45 left over. Both of these equations are correct. If you notice, equals 45 is still there. 45 is still by itself. The 35 is still negative and with the G, or minus 35G. And then 150 is positive, and 150 is still positive over here, because remember the symbol goes out in front of the number. So both 150s are positive. Both of these equations are right. It's just two different ways of thinking through it. So it does not have to be in this exact order, y equals mx plus b. You can flip it around to make it make more sense. So we learned how to write equations based on word problems. Remember, the three things to think about is what's the total, is there a number that's repeating or has a pattern, and that number needs a variable with it because it's unknown, and then what's the number that only happens once, or the beginning number. Thanks for watching.